Do you have time for a request?
I trained with Jeralt just the other day. Why? Why did he have to go and die? It's too awful. He didn't deserve it.
Hey, you.
Oh, is something hiding just behind that book? That ring! I have seen it before. Ah, I know. Jeralt showed that ring to you beside a grave. Do you recall? He said he wished for you to have that ring one day. That means it's yours. He also said that you should gift that ring to someone special.
Right. I have something rather uncomfortable to discuss. It's about the weapon that killed Jeralt. Will you listen? It was a dagger, but I know enough to know it wasn't an ordinary dagger. It wasn't made of iron or steel because whatever it was, the wound it left wasn't normal. Who could make a blade like that, do you figure?
I still have much to learn.
You've lost someone very dear to you. You have my sympathy. Manuela and I can take on some of your workload this month. We can't do all the teaching, but at least we can lighten the load for you. I've always seen strength in your eyes. I know you'll recover. You're a very strong person.
Practice yields results.
Monica von Ox. There is nothing suspicious in her past that would suggest this change of character. Her transformation must have something to do with her disappearance last year. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. I wonder who kidnapped her, and why.
First Tomas, and now Monica. I am so sorry. The failing was clearly our own. We didn't notice the enemy's invasion. And now Jeralt. I apologize. There is nothing I can say to atone for our sins. Professor, please do not let your guard down even among the people of the monastery. There is no way to know where another enemy may be hiding.
What the?
You? Professor, you have lost your father. Now more than ever, do I understand how very lucky I am that you were able to save me. Professor, I deeply appreciate what you have done. Thank you. If there is anything at all I can do in return, please tell me, okay?
I've never been much for condolences. How about a little logic instead? The knights have spread out around Garreg Mach in search of Jeralt's murderers. Thus, the monastery's fighting strength is, for the moment at least, depleted. Perhaps that was the enemy's real objective. We should be prepared for further confrontation.
Well... Right. I wonder who they were. Hello, Professor. I know that look in your eye. You want to ask me a favor. You want me to help out with your class, right? You just say the word, and I'll help however I can. Don't worry about it. You're just starting out as a teacher, right? It's only natural for those of us with more experience to help the younger generation. Excuse me, Professor. How are you holding up? I know how heavily grief weighs upon one's heart. I lost my mother some time ago. It was... Forgive me my moment of weakness. Even all these years later, I cannot recall that time without feeling the pain, as if it were brand new. Just know that I am praying for your mind and your heart to find peace.
First Tomas, and now Monica. I do have a theory, though I admit it is nothing more than speculation. Both Tomas and Monica have each gone missing at one time or another. It was reported that when Monica returned from her disappearance, she began to act like a completely different person. As if, perhaps, the real Monica had been killed and replaced by an imposter. Thinking of it like that, it is possible that this Solon had been impersonating Tomas for some time. How they managed such a convincing change of appearance, though, I still do not understand.
Practice yields results.
Professor, I'm scared. I feel that I don't understand the world. How could something like that happen to Jeralt? He was so strong. You're inspiring, Professor. I'll do my best. Ah, Professor! What an honor that you would come and talk to me. I'd like to learn more about you. Maybe someday you can add me to your class.
Excuse me. Not just Tomas, but Monica, too. We can't be sure who to trust anymore, can we? Who are these people, really? What do they want? Huh? You're inviting me to join your class? I'm really flattered, honestly. But I still have a lot left to learn in my current one.
Professor.
Right.
Oh, Goddess, hear my prayer. Please receive this beloved person. When the cold rain washes the body, when the bird and wolf announce the dawn, receive them into your blue blood, receive them into a twinkling star. That's a mourning scripture from the Church of Saros. Lady Rhea taught it to me. I pray that Jeralt is happy in the next world.
Need something? See you again soon.
Maybe. When I heard that Monica was with the enemy, I was surprised by how unsurprised I was. Something was just off about her. It's hard to explain. That said, whenever she had free time, she was always hanging around with the Edelgard. I wonder if Edelgard is also... Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm just being paranoid. Please ignore me.
Professor? Dark expressions don't suit you, Professor. But I'm glad to see you out in the world again. It seems this month will be a quiet one around here. There aren't many knights around to liven things up.
Most of the knights are gone, seeking out the enemy.
Isn't that a bit much? I agree it's important, but is it a good idea to neglect the safety of the monastery?
What do you think, Professor? I agree. We can send some knights after our enemies, but so many? It makes the church seem reckless.
What's up, Professor? You need something from me? Hey, I got a girl waiting. Well, two. They don't know about each other. I mean, can we talk later?
Professor? Do you think we'll still be able to graduate? If dangerous things keep happening around here, who even knows? I'm worried. I hope that all the students and professors will be there to celebrate at the graduation ceremony.
Professor, it seems like you're holding up okay, but I'm worried about Leonie. She really loved Jeralt. I hope she can bounce back. I'll say a prayer for Geralt's soul. There's not much else I can do. Oh, Professor. Hello. Excuse me, I have to go.
There is no one here who has not heard tales of Jeralt's valor. We have suffered a most dear loss. I do not know what the enemy's aim was, but I do know this. After what they have done, we cannot suffer them to live. If there is anything I can do to ensure that justice is brought swiftly, you need only give the word. It would seem that your reputation is on the rise. Even Lady Rhea has taken a liking to you. It's a shame I am not in your class, but I suppose I am content with my current arrangement.
I haven't lost a parent yet, so I can't even begin to understand how you must be feeling. But even while you're standing still, the world keeps on moving. I always find that oddly comforting.
Professor, I'm so sorry about what happened to Jeralt. No, of course my sorrow is nothing compared to yours. The Knights are even now searching for our enemy's whereabouts. They are to report back the moment they find something. If you desire revenge, Professor, you can count me in.
Professor, I'm not even close to being strong enough. I mean, Jeralt was so much stronger than me, but even that's enough. I can't dwell on the past. There's no way to know what my future holds, but I do know one thing. Whatever happens, I have to make my own way in this world. I have to keep pushing so I can grow even stronger.
You gotta keep yourself active during tough times, Professor. Even if it seems impossible. That's how I got through it when I lost my parents. If you need help with anything, just come and see me. Eating and training are my specialties. Good to see you, Professor. Did you need something from me? I was just on my way to train, so I'm pretty busy. We can talk soon.
Anywhere I can hide. Am I done yet? Am I done yet? Anywhere I can hide. Professor? I brought some flowers for Jeralt. It's the least I can do. Sometimes I feel like all I do is run away. Anyway, I'll go lay them out.
I slipped quietly into the vault and rummaged about, looking for anything we might find useful. There is a group of people who want to kill us, after all. What? This is no time for asking permission. I learned long ago that one can ask permission or forgiveness. It is rarely useful to request the former. Still, it appears the knights have already taken everything useful. There were crest-related objects I thought might be worth studying, so... There you go again with that stern look. Of course I'll put them back when I'm done, assuming they bear no additional use.
I've sung lyrics lamenting death many times on stage. But when something like this happens in real life, I'm lost. I don't know what to say, but I do know this much. Sir Jeralt must have been very proud to have you as his child.
Okay.
That's so.
Professor, I'm sure you will pull through this because you're so strong, Professor. Best to stay calm during such tumultuous and upsetting times. We don't know the nature of our enemies. If we underestimate them, anything could happen. Yes, I agree. I don't want to lose you too, Professor. Yes? I'm actually very busy right now. If you're here to ask a favor, please ask someone else.
The other night, I had the honor of sharing a drink with Jeralt. He was pretty tactless, honestly. He could be blunt at times, but he always looked like such a proud, happy father whenever he spoke of you.
Professor, please lend us your ears. Ferdinand is saying impossible things.
I do not see what is impossible about it. All I said was that if you want to go back to Brigid, you probably can. You are the Empire's guest, so to speak. They cannot afford for something bad to happen to you. There would be a diplomatic incident. Someone close to us has turned up dead. So one could argue that you are not safe here anymore.
You were already told. I am learning here, from the Academy. What are you thinking, Professor? I am not returning to home until I have grabbed my goal. I will not be listening to the words of Ferdinand.
No, look, I did not mean to pressure you. Apologies for the misunderstanding.
Professor, I'm so happy to see you. You're finally returning to your old self. To see the light in your eyes again is a gift. It inspires me to carry on as well. As you know, the Knights are searching furiously for any trace of the enemies who escaped. I'll inform you immediately if I learn anything relevant.
All I look for in a meal is a full stomach. You seem to be after something more than that, Lady Edelgard.
True. I feel that sharing a table with people you're close to is a precious opportunity that should never be taken for granted.
Professor, I'm so glad you're okay, Professor. I was so worried.
Oh, Professor, you must be starving. Mercy and I made some sweets for you. We were thinking that if you were to eat something sweet, it might help you feel better.
Baking sweets is my specialty. I'm sure they'll do the trick.
A lost item.
I'm so glad.
Oh, Professor, we were thinking.
Oh, this is mine. Thank you for returning it to me, but how did you know I lost it? Oh, you want me to join your class? Well, I'm already having so much fun in my current class. Sorry to disappoint, but I'll have to decline. I'm so glad.
Oh, we were thinking. Huh? You think I would be a good fit for your class? I'm not sure. There's still a lot I want to learn from my current class. Sorry to disappoint.
Oh no.
Professor, thank you for all you have done for us. Nothing to report today.
I'm so sorry. I never quite know what to say at times like these. Just don't push yourself too hard too soon. It's okay to allow yourself to be sad right now. Losing someone dear to you. Well, each loss is unique, but it's a feeling I know very well. That said, Professor, Hi, Professor. Did you need something? I've actually got plans, so let's talk some other time.
Professor.
It is a shame what happened to Jeralt. I am sorry. There are no words. Leave some flowers on his grave for me.
Hello there.
Captain Jeralt's gone. He's gone. And we'd only just reunited. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sure this is even harder on you. But I just can't. I can't believe.
Hey, I hope we get a chance to practice together when you find the time. I know I'm in a different class, but you're the only other person here who's learned from Captain Jeralt.
Professor. Ah, Professor. Always a pleasure to see you. I wonder, might you have a moment to chat? Come now. You have no need to be on guard. I'd never cause you harm. You're far too valuable a specimen, well, that is to say, too valuable a member of the Academy staff. Indeed, the further my crest research progresses, the closer you come to learning the truth of your heritage. Is it not so? When I learned you bore the lost crest, the very crest of flames itself, I set about learning everything I could about your past. What was the origin of your bloodline? How have the events of your life been shaped by your lineage? I became somewhat obsessed, I must admit. Nothing so crass as an investigation. No, I researched. I spoke to mercenaries whom you've worked with in the past to learn about your life before the Academy. Of course, I also contacted your father's old mercenary crew. Quite an interesting lot they are. It was difficult work, since I could not speak with Jeralt himself. I am quite sorry for your loss. By all accounts, your father was a good man. I'm excited to share with you what I learned, but I do ask that you correct me if I am mistaken on any account. The story begins with Jeralt serving as captain of the Knights of Seros. There was a woman at the monastery with whom Jeralt was quite close. At first, it seemed obvious this mystery woman was your mother. Alas, that cannot be the case. The timing is all wrong. As it was told to me, the woman in question passed away shortly before Jeralt left the monastery. Yet your birth occurred sometime later, while Jeralt was taking work as a mercenary. This, of course, presumes your age is accurately reported. If you were born sooner, well, the story would be quite different, would it not? Oh, I am aware. You two were certainly enigmatic, as far as mercenaries go. For example, Jeralt never once spoke of his time serving as captain of the Knights. That's quite a secret to keep for all those years. In the end, your old acquaintances had little definitive to say about either of you. However, they all agreed on one thing. Your father and yourself were a strong pair, warriors to be respected and feared. You in particular. In fact, many came to know you as the Ashen Demon. They say you would destroy your enemies without a hint of emotion on your face. The mercenaries I spoke to revered you as a living legend of sorts. So, that is what I learned. And I admit, it is barely more than I knew before. The next step in my research is to ask your blood for answers, and hope that it is more forthcoming than your past acquaintances.
Professor!
Hello there.
Hey!
Oh no.
Nothing worth celebrating. Praise isn't necessary, really. I still have much to learn.
Let's do this again sometime, Professor. I always was a quick study.
Nailed it! Perfect! I'll get it next time, too.
I am beginning to understand. I will master this. Never underestimate a noble. I am quite pleased. I appreciate your coaching. Your instruction has been beneficial.
May I be asking a question? I am appreciating your answer.
It seems I am discovered. I suppose that means assassination is out of the question. At least for now. Unusually watchful, difficult to steal upon in slumber, perhaps an odorless, tasteless poison. Lady Edelgard certainly took interest in a difficult one this time. I suppose that question does warrant a response, considering it may mean your life. The answer requires me to explain some of the complex internal politics of the Empire. Are you familiar with Volkard von Arundel? He is Lady Edelgard's uncle. You may also know him as Lord Arundel, the Empire's regent. Many years ago, he took Her Majesty and fled to the Kingdom of Fargus. Then after a time, he returned to seize power. Joining forces with Prime Minister Eyre and my father, Lord Arundel rendered Emperor Ionius IX politically impotent. Lady Edelgard is Ionius IX's daughter. I cannot begin to fathom the depth of her sadness at his betrayal. I see something of Lord Arundel in you. When I look at you, I feel I can almost see a second self lurking beneath the surface. It is as if you are in constant dialogue with something inside your heart. Something with desires very different from your own. Does that description feel familiar to you at all? Because to me, you seem unpredictable. As though you could turn traitor at any moment. The more I learn about you, the less I like. I had thought you might be of use to Lady Edelgard, but now I am beginning to think you may, through no fault of your own, present too great a risk. I hope you will prove me wrong, Professor. I would hate for this to come to bloodshed.
I will not be a burden. I will be doing my best for Lady Edelgard.
Don't worry, Petra. There is no use in fearing failure. It is my duty to help others when necessary.
I have sorrow, Lady Edelgard. We did not achieve a good result.
Worry not, Petra. At least we completed our task.
I understand more every day.
Learning these things gives me great difficulty.
Yeah! I'll sing so loud that my voice is gonna reach the sky!
I am grateful.
We've come such a long way. After all, I was only 4 years old when we first met.
From your perfect memory, Lady Edelgard, I expect nothing short of the utmost precision. Do go on.
Please don't mock me with such frivolous praise. I can hardly recall that day.
Forgive me. I suppose I must have been 6 at the time. I have no recollection of it. My earliest memory of you is of when you were injured. I recall being scolded most sternly by my father. "You are Lady Edelgard's servant," he said. "You must protect her with your life."
I had no idea. But House Vestra has served House Hresvelg for generations. Given that, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
Indeed. After that, I made certain to accompany you wherever you went. That is, until the incident.
Ah, when my uncle, Lord Arundel, defected to the kingdom and took me with him.
The sensation of loss that overcame me on that day defies all description. It was as horrific as if I'd lost all my limbs. I left the city in a mad rush to rescue you. My father sent soldiers to capture me. I fought them off for 3 days, but they did finally manage it. Of course, I was only 10. I never would have reached Ferdiad.
I've never heard that story before. So there are things you've never told me.
It wasn't important.
That's beside the point. I wish to know these things. If there's anything else you're keeping from me, please tell me at once.
Respectfully, I decline.
Why? It's a simple order. I really must know.
Speaking of your orders, there was a task you gave me earlier which I have yet to carry out. Excuse me.
Wait just a moment. I just hope he's not hiding anything too worrisome.